Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, the DIA, the IYT, the USO, the UUP, and the GLD. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. Go to our website, sign up for the free membership at StockBookie.com. You'll get email alerts when we post videos like this, our live streaming sessions, and our trade alerts. Go to the website, guys. It's free. Sign up today. All right, let's get into the daily SPY. And right now, guys, the bulls, took over today. We were 25 up on the S&P. We're at $2.58 or 1.10% on the day. Got above the trend line, got above the 50 and the 20. We talked about that. If you're bullish, you need to get above that. Now the next step is get above these pivots, fill the gap, get over the trend line, and then go for double top. If it makes it up to there, then you're looking at the 242 and then possibly the 250 number. That's the big even number. Then we have an area around 252 as well. Again, one step at a time. Let's see if we continue up tomorrow on a little heavier volume, or do we just click over and come down? If you're bearish, you need to come right back down, get below the MAs, fill the gap, come to double bottom, then I think we're going lower. But at this point, nothing wrong. Still inside this bar, slightly bearish, bullish stance above the MA. So kind of a 50-50 shot right here. I need more evidence on the chart, so I need a couple more days on the SPY. Volume, though, guys, not bad. 119 on the day, so keep an eye on that. Let's look at the IWM. So on the daily, got above these high pivots. If we were bullish, remember, you got to get it back above the 20 and the 50 and then get above those pivots, and it did today. So we're outside of this bar. That's slightly more on the bullish side, and above the MAs makes it a little more bullish. So let's see what this thing brings. But again, it's been going up on news. Volume was a little bit better than it's been, so you got to respect that a little bit. We had 33 million on the day. So let's see what this thing does tomorrow. Needs to continue up into double top, and then shoot for the 142 to 145 area, and then we'll go from there. Again, if it pulls sideways action here, starts to consolidate, then we're looking for higher prices. If that pattern fails, we'll possibly we'll have to see how it goes. If you're bullish or bearish, you need to get back above. You need to fill the gap, get back below the 50 and the 20, crack the trend line, and come right back in the double bottom. Then I'm still thinking in this area around here somewhere. Nice move up, 7 days. Right into the this high pivot here, gapped it above though. They don't want to deal with it, these guys, the big institutional money or the hedge funds. So what they do, they just gap it over and not worry about resistance. So again, we're sitting up here. Let's wait for pattern and see what the IWM gives us. Let's go to the Qs. So the Qs, guys, same thing. Instead of dealing with double top, all-time highs, gap it up over it. Just kind of stalls out. It was just one of those days, guys. They pop it up, and then look what they do. Nothing. Pretty much they pop it up. People buy puts right here, and they just hammer them all day when you should be buying the puts pretty much at the end of the day. Right here would have been the last time. Somewhere in here would have been the area. Start adding puts to the Qs or what have you. So, but just beware. We are still above the MAs on all time frames. Like clockwork, guys. And now we're a little bit stretched, though, so let's keep an eye on this one. Let's see if we hold above the high pivot, or does it come in? If it continues up, 135 to 140 area, again, I want to see more volume and a bigger push. If it does pull back, if you're bearish, you need to get back below this all-time high, come back, fill the gap, get below the MAs, fill the gap, go to double bottom, and then so on and so forth. Not a lot of resistance up, so it could really start to move, and a lot of support coming down. So we'll have to see what happens. Volume was okay today. Again, nothing wrong. Big earnings coming up this week, so we got to keep an eye on that, especially with the Qs. Let's look at the DIA. DIA, same thing. Instead of dealing with all the resistance, pop it over. They close it right on top of the 50 MA. They did not get it above these pivots, though, or do anything like that, so we got to keep an eye on this one. With the volume, let's see if we get more follow-through, or does it come right back down and then give it up and come right back in. April Fools right here, so keep an eye on these markets. Watch the volume, guys. Let's see if we can continue up. If it does, we got a couple pivots up here, pivot top, all-time high. But honestly, this thing could go to 220. If it really popped and got through there and the news was on, the hype was on, I mean, honestly, I can't rule it out until I see more on the charts. Let the charts tell you guys what to do. Don't, well, I think. If it comes back in, then it's a greater chance that this thing can possibly pull in. If it continues up, then we'll watch how it reacts on these pivots and then take it from there too. So right now, nothing really wrong with the DIA. So one day at a time with this one. We're retracing back up. but we're inside this bar kind of chopping around. I still like the pattern, guys, other than we're above the MAs, which gives it a little bit of a bullish stance. But again, let's wait what kind of a pattern. This might come right back in and come, fast and furious. Again, let's see what happens tomorrow and the next day and all week with the earnings coming up, and let's see how all the news drives this market. Let's put it that way. IYT, which are the transports, guys. Same thing. Got it above the resistance, got it above the trend line. Remember, boom, 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 boom. Comes in, slingshots back up, almost to the highs up in here. We're back above the 50, the 20, and now the trend line. So this is slightly bullish now, guys, in a bullish stance. So let's see what this thing gives us tomorrow with some follow through, or does it come right back in and take out the the 50 and the 20 MA, fill the gap, and come right back down to the 200. So had a nice move up here in the last week and a half or so. Let's see what happens if it gives us a pattern consolidation. That's what we're looking for, to go higher. If it does go higher, look for the gap fill, the double top, and then we'll see what's going up in here. If it's going to pierce through it, we'll go maybe 175, 176, possibly 180. Again, we're going to have to see how this thing sets up. If it goes sideways, if it continues up, then I think it's getting a little bit stretched to possibly hit the double top and then come right back in. So keep an eye on that one. Volume was okay. It was, what is it, 2 million on the day, so not bad. Again, you got to get above the pivots. They might even gap it up, so keep an eye on the markets overall. It is moving up on news up and down, so beware of that. All right, let's go to the USO. This has been a fun one lately. So had a great rally. I figured that it was going up, try to get the markets to follow. Markets never did. This got to a point where it was like, okay, this is enough. Hit good resistance, almost gap fill, hit gap window, and then boom, right back down, guys. We're right at the 750 retrace right here around 1022. Let's see if we can continue down with the markets down to double bottom. If that area cracks, I think we're going to $9, possibly lower. So if you are long on the USO or oil, be really, really careful right here. If this thing starts to crack, you're going to look at lower prices coming, and then the SCO is going to rip. We're in the SCO long, and we're in a quarter position short of the USO. So this has been a great trade coming right back in. Let's see how it starts reacting when we start filling these gaps and possibly to double bottom. Again, we had a nice sell-off here. Nothing too crazy. Let's see how it reacts. Usually this will lead us to lower prices, but let's see how it reacts hitting the 750 retrace down here. See if we get another retrace and then the next leg down. So keep an eye on this. Right now it's a little bit oversold, but let's see if we go down, if the markets go down, or will this go up and try to lead the markets up. Right now we're going to wait for pattern to see if this retraces or starts to just chop around in a sideways manner. If it does, that's a slightly bearish manner. That's setting up for possible lower prices. So let's keep an eye on pattern in the next week or so and see what this thing can do. Up or down, I don't care. But right now we're short, and hopefully we find a good bounce area where we could go long again too. So again, long or short in these markets, don't really care, guys. I just want to be on the right side of the trade. USO, let's look at the UUP. So the UUP, again, 24 cents down, guys, just getting hammered here. Right to the 200 MA. We talked about this. It's slightly below it, so we got to see how it reacts tomorrow. But you're also double bottom as well. Will the 200 and double bottom actually give this thing a bounce? We will see. If not, if it just comes in another 24, 30 cents or whatever in the next couple days, then we'll be looking down here at the $25 area. There we might actually step up for a short-term long, but we'll have to see how it comes right down in the price, or we'll have to, open this up a little bit more. See, that's a great gap fill. Got a couple gaps to fill down in here around 24.73. So when this thing gets closer to this area, we'll have to open this up and take a look at it and see if it even gets below that 200. Let's look at the weekly really quick on this just to see. Yeah, so you're coming into some pretty good support here too. At the inside bar, popped up, came right back in. You're at the 50 MA support. So even on a weekly, it's not bad. It's overall still a bearish pattern, but doesn't mean it can't move up one more time and then possibly roll over like that. So be careful with the UUP. This is back to the daily chart. Nothing really wrong, but if it starts cracking this one, it starts heading down, then you got to be aware that it could pull back another, buck or so maybe from this area here. So if you are long, just tighten the stop up. If you're short, enjoy the ride down. If you start getting to the 25 area, 24.50, anywhere down in this area, you got to start chiseling some off. So take some off the table and say thank you very much. But right now, let's see what happens with this one. A lot of stuff, guys, on all these charts. they're just starting to set up because it's like one big day up or down or what have you, and now it's setting up, so we got to wait for pattern. GLD. GLD, right back down, 20 MA, still above the MAs. We talked about this a lot. We finally, though, got above this big area, and look at that, came up, and then right back in. So let's see. Remember, this area that was once resistance is support now, and now we have the MAs and all that stuff, too. So it came back in, though, but look at the nice push up during the day. Gap down in the morning. Look at a 10-minute. And is this a 10? No, that's a weekly. It's like, wow, that looks weird. There's a 10. So gap down, look, it kind of clawed its way back up. Nothing great. A little bit slight bullish pattern here. It didn't get back above the MAs. But, hey, hats off to this one. It did grind back from the lows and trying to make a move here. So, gold, nothing wrong still. Let's see. Still above the MAs. Kind of chopping around. Let's see if we get back above this trend line. If it does, again, I'm still thinking the 125 to 130 area. We did sell half right up in here. And we're trying to hold out for another, hopefully $5-6. That would be wonderful on this one. So, all right, that's the GLD. Let's get into the Jnug real quick. Again, guys, I do not trade the Jnug. I was just showing some videos because a lot of people were asking about it, but this thing has a mind of its own, so be really careful with it. Do not load the house in this one stock or ETF, whatever you want to call it. If we do crack the lows here, 431, 480, or 383. So anywhere in this area, it could possibly be a buyer, but if this thing really comes in, just be careful. You know, it could go to 350, $3 maybe. So make sure if you do go in a small enough position, guys, where you can add more if you have to. Don't load the boat in this one. You know, if you can lose $1,000, I mean, you know, just go small. Do 1,000 shares. You know, $5,000 position. It's not the biggest, but you know, but again, if you get 10, 20% on it, you got to pull it. You know, now this would be the time I'd start to nibble. Down in here too, I'd probably start going, but I think I'm going to wait for this area, possibly lower, like $4. That's what I'm waiting for. Then we'll reevaluate it when it gets down there. But if you're long from up in here, guys, be careful. This area cracks. This is where you're going, down in here. Let's see if this one holds though first. If we close down here tomorrow in this area, it's going to be iffy. You got to wait pretty much a day to see if it reverses, comes back up, and if it goes down one more time, then you're going to have to think about this is some good area to buy, guys. To add more, maybe. You know, but for me, like I said, I do not trade this. I might take a stab down here. Maybe, you know, $5,000 worth, whatever that buys me. That'll be my max position because I don't want to lose more than $5,000, to be quite honest with you. So, you know, that's how you got to play it. If you only want to lose $1,000, then do $1,000. If you can lose $100,000, do $100,000. I don't care. There's some guys on here with huge accounts. You know, I don't have a huge account. So I want to, you know, $5,000 maybe at the most. And at this point, maybe, you know, maybe even less. Who knows? But I'm not going to go overboard. I'd really like this area down in here, but I'd still like a little bit of a down, you know, even down into the threes, and then get the bounce. So we'll keep an eye on the Jnug. But guys, just be careful with this one. Do not load the house. But technically, you're in the double bottom. If that if that gives away, you're going down here. If that holds and it reverses up, and you're looking at the same thing, guys. You got the 50 MA coming up. You have the 200 or the 20 MA down in here, right around the 656 area. So just be careful. You know, we're back below the MAs again, all of them. So it's looking weak to me, but gold's still looking okay. Again, this one has a mind of its own, guys. So, all right, that's going to be it for me today. I really appreciate you guys stopping by, checking my videos out. Again, sign up, StockBookie.com. You'll get all this stuff that you're seeing here today, and then some more live stuff and whatever else we're bringing to you guys. So, and girls. Thanks again, guys, for watching the videos. God bless. See you on the charts.